Our first pitcher up here is 2022, Michael Todaro. 2022, Michael Todaro. Todaro is 5'9", 160 pounds from Lacey High School in New Jersey. Again, our purpose here is, without a high school season, is to gradually build up their arm strength. This is only our second time together with the pitchers, so we're cleaning up mechanics, working on some basic things as far as grips, experimenting with some different grips, different pitches, and just basically getting them some reps so they can go ahead and be ready for their first event on July 3rd and 4th, which will be held out at 4th and 5th, which will be held out at East Stroudsburg University, where it will also be filmed live. But don't forget, coming up June 28th, that's June 28th, live from Keystone College, our Baseball U Georgia boot camp. We'll have the best players from the organization, from 73 players from 9 different organizations from 6 different states. That's the Georgia boot camp. Live next Sunday, we'll have the batting practice sessions of 17U first in the morning, then 16U, and then we'll have 2 games in the afternoon. This process helps us select the teams for Georgia out of the players that already have been selected to go. So we split them up into 2 different teams, and we go down there and compete. We're going to do as much video as we can of all our events this year, and bring it to all the college coaches, since they can't be out on the road right now. Our pitching coaches down on the field there today is Casey Gaynor. Casey was out of Toms River East High School, also played on the Toms River Little League World Series team with Todd Frazier. Went on to play at Rutgers University, then became the pitching coach at Rutgers University, and spent a little time also with the Cleveland Indians. And Casey is now the head recruiting coordinator for Montclair State University, as well as the head pitching coach there. The other pitching coach on the field with them is Pat Knight from Cranford. Played at Brookdale Community College, went on for 2 years to play at George Washington University, and is also at Montclair State University. In your screen now. A left-handed pitcher. He works with the outfielders, does a lot of recruiting for Montclair State, as well as works with the outfielders. Development is so important in players. Our focus is to get them exposure, provide them a platform to go ahead and expose themselves. We're never going to guarantee a player that he's going to play at any school. The only thing we could do is provide them the opportunity, reach out to coaches for them with our relationships that we've built since 2006. We've had a pretty good success here at Baseball U. We've expanded. What started out as one team here locally in central New Jersey has now expanded to several organizations in many states, and we've had 129 players drafted. Most recently in this year's draft was in the 3rd round, Zach McCambly out of Coastal Carolina. Zach was selected by the Miami Marlins. Zach was a 2-time All-Tournament team member down at the Perfect Game World Wood Bat Championships in Jupiter, Florida, as well as the in Georgia that summer prior. So congratulations again to Zach. Our players, we've had, it's 11 first-round picks. We have 11 guys now in the big leagues. Some of those players include Tommy LaStella, Andrew Velasquez, Pat Light, Nick Ahmed, Colin Moran, Chris Shaw, Justin Dunn, Scotty McGuh. So the list is pretty deep of players that we've placed in Major League Baseball. Again, we only provide the platform. We're not going to make players promises. We're just going to tell them that what we can offer them. The rest is up to them to get it done on the field. Next up on the mound here is 2023 right-handed pitcher Luke Bearse. That's 2023 Luke Bearse. If the name Bearse sounds familiar, we had his older brother Ryan who came over to us, and we worked on some of his mechanics. His dad was is an actual former professional baseball player himself, and Ryan really made great strides and developed in a short period of time, and is attending Monmouth University. He was a dual shortstop pitcher. We made him a pitcher, but back in high school he was still dueling, and his velocity was never what it quite could be. So now that he went to Monmouth, he had a great fall, and I was told that he got it up to 93, 94 miles an hour in the fall at Monmouth University. So I think Luke, in looking at him, is developing. He's growing. He's going to get better. But from his release point, I'm going to have to believe that he's going to have a strong slider, just like his brother did, or has now, did and has. So I think Luke is going to do okay for himself down the road here. Luke is out of Howell High School in New Jersey. Once again on the mound for the second time is 2022 Michael Todaro. After Todaro, in the next group of two pitchers, we have Keenan and Winzinger. Keenan and Winzinger on deck. See, Todaro made a decent adjustment on his curveball prior, and the biggest thing I noticed with high school pitchers is, and same thing here with the changeup that he's about to throw, is that they want to baby it and they want to short it. In reality, with a curveball, accelerate through it, throw it harder. It's no different than when you're throwing a bowling ball. Any of you guys that have bowled, to create spin, you go ahead and accelerate through it. So it's the same thing here. A lot of pitchers want to slow down their arm on a changeup. An easy fix is, and it won't get picked up, is something simple as digging your back toe in the ground. Putting on the brakes on your backside a little bit will take enough off it. So, but for you young pitchers out there with your curveball, accelerate through it, almost like you're going to throw it harder, not slower. Back on the mound here is 2023 Luke Bearse. Probably be mixing in some curveball sliders here for the first time this year with us. So he's working on staying close, which he does pretty well. You can tell that a couple years down the road, as he gets bigger, the velocity is going to spike. His brother had good size, and we expect him to be in the same mold. That was a little slider right there. Again, right now the velocity is not quite there for 2023, but you can tell the spin is there. It's going to be there. It's just a matter of the maturation process. Repeating, get it out in front. Don't take anything off it. Throw it harder. Get extension. All right, so Keenan's coming up a little sore here. We're going to end this, but we're going to have a session for Winzinger.